I'm Tim. Welcome to my channel. This is just your average dad working out, trying to stay in shape and having fun. I'm going to be working on chest tonight and shoulders. So I'm going to be warming up with the 10-pound dumbbells. And let's get after it. Let's get started. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I check on something inside the house. 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right. So I've been having like trouble staying consistent with working out since I moved, time wise and just the kids' school schedule wise. So I think I'm going to go back to trying to work out in the early morning. So I won't be in the evening, but I'll be more consistent with working out. Hopefully, it's been hard to get it done, especially been trying to do it when my kids are napping, but the time is just not like really working for me. So hopefully working out in the morning is going to make it easier. Juggling kids and working out is always complicated. I was supposed to work out last night, earlier in the night, just kind of around this time, and it just didn't work out. And then by the time I was ready to come out, it was just too late. And my wife was like, "Hey, if you go, you're probably gonna wake up tomorrow and be grumpy." And I thought it through. I was like, "Yeah." As much as it's important to work out, I also got to be able to make sure I'm being a good and effective father. First and foremost, gotta have those priorities straight. Still warming up. Gonna be working on the 20-pound dumbbells now. I'm looking forward to getting back to consistently working out. Still, like that month off for moving took its toll. I've been also been pretty disappointed. Like I had this whole idea that I'd be able to do the 100 pull-ups for the Murph by May, and I just don't see it happening. I think I bit off more than I could chew, but I'm gonna keep going for it, keep trying to make it happen. It just doesn't seem very likely. That's okay. Regardless, I do want to be able to complete that exercise routine. So I'll just keep trying. I think I just keep going until I can hit that goal. But the 100 pounds, sorry, the 100 pull-ups with a 20-pound vest is I thought I could get it, I could get it done, and losing that month just set me really far back, farther than I thought it would. So we'll see if we can get it back, but I still want to be able to say that I can get it done. I think be able to do 100 pound or 100 pull-ups with a 20-pound vest would be a great thing to be able to do. All right. That's it for the 20 pounds. Should be all warmed up and ready to grab the 60 pounds. That's 27.22 kilograms. My kids are arguing about Minecraft. It is a fun game. It's hard to play with the kids because I always want to build stuff, and then one of my kids likes to destroy whatever I'm building in the sake of helping me. Like I'll be building a house and be like, "Hey, do you like that I knocked out this wall over here? Because you can see outside now." I was like, "No, I didn't. Thank you for trying, but no, I really wanted that wall there. It wasn't. I built that wall for a reason, but that's great. All right." My favorite part of them playing Minecraft is if they're playing survival mode and one person will hit the other person, sometimes on purpose, sometimes on accident, and they just go back and forth getting revenge until somebody dies, and it's completely pointless endeavor. And they just never, it's like they can never leave each other alone. Like I'll tell whoever started, I say, "Okay, they hit you back, just walk away and it'll be fine." And they just can't. Eventually they go back and accidentally hit them again. And it's like, oh, you're just bringing it on yourself. The one thing I think is positive about it is I'm hoping that they'll figure out conflict resolution that way rather than the alternative where they're actually hitting each other in the real world and then figuring it out. I was at the park today and there were two like brothers. These kids were young, probably like 5 and 7, and they hit each other hard, like hard enough that when one of the kids hit the other one, like it made me turn around because it sounded like somebody was in like a real fight. Like it's not good. So hopefully playing the game, they'll figure out some conflict resolution. Or they just won't be allowed to play games. What's up, white tidies? How you doing, man? How's your day going? Or your night? You're like starting to be up a little later. And I was talking about my kids playing Minecraft and fighting with each other on in the game, and how I hope it leads to conflict resolution. Doing all right? Good, man. No crazy phone calls today. All right. Well, plugging away at these 60-pound dumbbells here. No, sir. No calls. Man. All right. Well, that's 3 sets of 10 with the 60 pounds. So, I mean, next week it'll be time for an increase. We'll go up to 65 pounds next week. I'm going to keep plugging away at these 60 pounds right now, though. I was talking to this lady the other day, and she had an epiphany, and she said, "I am today 6 years old when I realized that Alaska is not an island." And I guess they made it pretty far in life thinking that Alaska was an island. There's always in the pictures next to Hawaii that it's an island. That was pretty funny. And I've actually heard a few people figuring that out in later in life, that Alaska is not an island. I mean, I think it's a reasonable assertion if you just only ever look at a map and never study anything else. The fact that you have to drive through Canada to get there, is always a weird thing. Would it make sense that we would own a large piece of territory on the other side of our next door neighbor? All right, that was 8. Let's see if we can do another set of 8. Although I felt really silly today. I wish I was randomly filming was coming back from the store with my wife and my kids, and we were doing like spelling cheers, like give me an A, give me B, and like just going back and forth spelling words with our kids. And I went to do Y, the word Y. And I was like, give me a Y, give me an H, give me a W. And then my wife said it wrong, but I didn't realize that I had screwed up how to spelling the word Y. And I thought she was the one like that got it wrong. So then I did it again, and I got it scrambled again, and I think I screwed it up spelling Y like 3 or 4 times. Just kept getting the letters out of order, and that was rather embarrassing, especially in front of the kids. My excuse is that I get mildly dyslexic, but I felt pretty ridiculous, especially when I started out by blaming her. I was like, "What, you can't spell?" And then just looked like a total idiot. It's always fun to look like an idiot in front of your kids. All right, that was 6. That late in life dyslexia. Yeah. I've spent my life like scrambling letters. Sometimes it's really funny because you misread something, and when you misspell it, it's like a funny thing, and then you have to like, then you reread it and you realize that that's not what they said. I'm switching down or going down to 50 pounds. So that's 22.67 kilograms. One of my favorites is I have an aunt that is like full blown dyslexic, and she was driving either with my grandma or my dad. I can't remember which, but there was a bumper sticker that said "Dyslexics untie," and my grandma or dad like started laughing at it, and my aunt was like, "What's so funny? It says Dyslexics unite." Just completely missed it. Oh man. The one that like drives my wife nuts that I do is can't I can't communicate left or right correctly. So if I'm giving directions, she'll be like, "Okay, what do we turn next?" And I'll be like, "You're gonna turn right." And she's like, "Right?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna turn right." Right? No, left. Left. It's left. I just get it screwed up all the time. So that's always fun. I don't understand though, because she hates me giving directions, but she could also just turn the volume up on it, and then I wouldn't have to look like such an idiot all the time. But I think she enjoys my flaws as much as she says they're irritating. I think they make her feel better about herself. Actually, I don't know how much she enjoys them because as my kids get older, it's readily apparent which of my flaws they picked up. My one child cannot pay attention to save their lives, and that's my fault. My wife is very good at focusing on tasks, and I am not. How am I feeling about my fitness and weight loss progress? Man, I'll tell you, the month off really derailed me, and trying to get back into a steady schedule has been tough. Like trying to figure out what works. Um, so that's been rough, and it's been really frustrating. So it's the saving grace is that if I don't make it out here, at least I spend a lot of time like running with my kids outside. With the way their school's set up, I can get like a mile or 2 or 4 miles done a day. So that's really helpful with as far as weight loss. You're not like gaining an exorbitant amount of weight. But this week has been better. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling also getting stronger again. Like I'm catching up to where I was. So that feels pretty good, except for the pull-ups, man. The pull-ups are just, I don't know what happened that took such a hit on being able to do those pull-ups. But I'm just gonna keep going after it. Can't stop. I'm also excited because when we moved, there's a lot more places to explore with the kids within the same amount of distance as other places where we lived. So they'll get less bored with hiking because we were hiking up the same like mountain all the time before, and it would get boring to them. And we explored most of the trails there, but now we have new mountains and a bunch of new mountains and stuff to explore. So that'll be fun. But that month, I've said it a few times, but that month set me back further than I thought it would. I just kept thinking I would be like back to where I was within like a week or two, and it just dragged out longer than I thought it would be. That was very discouraging. But the good thing about it is it's just a reminder of why you can't slow down and why you can't quit. Like you give yourself a break here and there, it's one thing, but when those breaks, you know, go longer than a few weeks, they really start to cost you. But it's okay. And thanks for asking, White Tigers. Appreciate that, man. I am excited though because my kids are getting stronger and better at running or being on their scooters or going faster, which means that I can run faster and faster. Like when they go to school, there's like just these straight patches where I gotta run pretty hard to keep up with them. And it's really nice. Did I tell you at White Tights that I watched She-Hulk? I tried watching it when it first came out, and I didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of the acting. But with the new Daredevil out, I was like, okay, Daredevil has some scenes in She-Hulk. So now you have to watch She-Hulk to make sure you're not missing anything in the Daredevil story. And I will say the ending of the season is the worst ending of a season or of a show I've ever seen. Like, there were a lot of things about the show that were just off-putting, but that was the worst. I would encourage people to watch it just to see like how badly it ended. It was like, what like happened here? Like, it just comes to a screeching halt. And it was almost like when they ended it, like they knew it wasn't going any further. But I just can't imagine that the people working on the show would have thought it wasn't going to be a success. But I don't know, it's just a bad ending. And I had some pretty high hopes for it. I liked the Captain Marvel, and I liked Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie. And I thought, okay, like they could do some really cool stuff with She-Hulk, but it didn't work. All right. 8. And especially, it kind of was a little bit of a bummer because at the end, She-Hulk was kind of poking fun at some of the core concepts of comic books that like have read and enjoyed for years. And I was just kind of like, oh man, like this is like what built this industry. And it's not bad concept. Like, I don't know why you can't just let it be. Especially, but I just don't think they realize like how many people really enjoyed the comic books in that way. I know for me, like I used to work in a group home, and things would be like pretty rough. Like you see a lot of horrible stuff, and it was really nice to be able to like crack open a comic book or disappear into like a regular book where everything works out for the most part, and the hero does come back or saves the day. There's a nice break from reality. And when somebody just doesn't get that, they don't get how that works. It's a little disappointing. So I'm always careful when I talk about things I don't understand or get. Like, I never got into Pokemon. This is never a thing I really got into. But I don't make fun of it. because there's a lot of people that are fans of it, and I assume that because there's so many fans, it has a deeper meaning to some and than a surface concept. And if you watch the whole thing or get into that, there's probably a lot there. Because you have to be very careful when you tread on things that people are passionate about, just because you don't understand why they might be fascinated by that particular thing. Like, what about you, Tidy Wise? Is there anything that you particularly enjoy that you see people ignorant of just bash? Why says, nah, not really. I think I'm also good at just liking what I like without shame. Uh, there's probably some poor guy out there that's like shamed by your name. Like they see it and they're like, man, I'm so passionate about my whitey tighties. Can't believe he's mocking me. I love these things. It's not a joke. They have like a collection of whitey tighties at home. They can tell you which brand of white tighties is the best. I just stick myself again. Well, at least you're on, but odd choice past the age of like 13. Some people just like the classics, man. I remember like I was always like when I was younger, just behind a trend. So like I was the kid that would be wearing like the Batman or Superman underwear, and then everybody would be laughing about people wearing Batman or Superman underwears. And I'd be like, wow, dang it, I thought these were really cool. And then you gotta wait. But I think transitioned from the Superman and Batman underwears into whitey tighties. And then boxers became the cool thing. And I figured that out in gym class. And I was like one of the last people in 7th grade wearing whitey tighties. Whitey tighties says I can't judge. I know for sure I had them past 13. It was funny to me is I lived through the transition of where everybody wore very flashy colored pants, like the MC Hammer era of pants. And then it transitioned to everybody wearing big baggy jeans. So like the biggest I saw was this kid named Zach wore these jeans to school that were so big and baggy that he could pull one leg up to the top of his head and he used it like a sleeping bag. I think he got in trouble that day though, so I only ever wore those ones once. But and then out of nowhere, the super tight pants became a style, which I could never understand. I never even tried to wrap my head around that one. Whiteside says skinny pants came and went, and now looser ones are cool again. Yeah. I remember when flares were a thing. Those were like the bell bottoms, but they were like smaller versions of bell bottoms. I would definitely say I was around when we all walked on the back of our jeans. Everyone's jeans hung down. Would go just past the back of your shoes. Too much work keeping up, just like what you like, you know? I agree. I heard once that like men when they get to 50 or 60 usually put on one outfit, one style, and that's like usually what they stick with till they're done. So I look around and I try to think about what I would go with. But I think pretty much what I wear now. Like I pretty much prefer to wear jeans, wear shorts, only jeans when it's really cold or I'm going somewhere nice, and t-shirts. I don't think I'm gonna get. I'll probably be one of the only like 80-year-olds walking around with a Superman shirt on. And people will joke and be like, "Oh, you really let yourself go, Superman?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Considering I've only seen you working out, I can't imagine you in a pair of jeans. As long as it's a Superman shirt, not the Superman underwears. Yeah. No, I wore a Superman shirt. I did wear Superman dress socks when I got married, and they were the ones that have the cape on them, and I got those saved. And I've got the suit I got married in, but I wore the same Superman shirt for when both my kids were born, and I wore it at their like birthday parties for the longest time, and I've got that one stashed and saved. So when I go, that's what I want to wear in my